The document discusses the use of advanced technologies such as v2k and remote neural monitoring in gangstalking. It describes how these technologies can be used to remotely monitor and alter brainwaves and cause harm to individuals. Additionally, it addresses the manipulation of brainwaves and neural interfaces to control and influence individuals. The document also highlights the harmful effects of neuroleptics and provides suggestions for reducing exposure to electromagnetic radiation. Finally, it discusses the difficulty of identifying and combating those responsible for using these technologies. Voice in my head, terrorists writing by Xenarok. Voices aren't voices, they are terrorists. As long as they expect to get money or property from you in one way or another, they wouldn't stop. They use AI to change voices and intonations and generate speech at speeds faster than normal person able to speak. So in many cases, they pretend that they are something paranormal, AI, aliens, neighbors, mental illness, secret organization, cult, etc. It isn't schizophrenia, it is gangstalking. Also known as Havana Syndrome, also known as psychotronic terror or SATER in ex-USSR countries. Even if someone told you that it was psychosis caused by meth, it doesn't mean a thing. Those things aren't connected. Expect anything, that they or their accomplices will break into your house or steal your personal data, passwords, credit cards, data, etc. Here is a brief explanation of technologies used against you. -1, v2k, voice to skull, microwave hearing effect, voices in the head created by microwave hearing effect. Also known as voice to skull, patent for microwave voice to skull technology, United States, patent 4,877,027 Brunken, October 31. 1989 hearing system. Recently renamed into USA hearing system. Lines about v2k were removed in USA. You can search patents in internet. Depending on search engine you are using, results will be different. You may find old version, United States patent 4877-027 in internet. This technology used microwaves, electromagnetic waves, radio waves. -2, remote neural monitoring, yes. Patent 3.9 recently renamed into US 3,951,134A United States. This technology allowed to remotely monitor and alter brain waves, electric signals, parameters in nerve cells, brain and peripheral nervous system. Also changed. It just doesn't so obvious from description. This technology also used microwaves, electromagnetic waves, radio waves. -3, patent WO 2,550,579. System for producing artificial telepathy. System for producing artificial telepathy, patent AU 223-200-60-6440A. Those patents describe application of electromagnetic waves to create wireless telepathic connection. This technology allows to send information into the brain wirelessly using electromagnetic waves. In your case, data transmitted into your brain and from your brain. For example, by deciphering electroencephalogram, you may know what words person pronouncing or think about. Visual information also may be transmitted. You may read more about those technologies in neuroscience articles. Descriptions in those articles aren't always precise. For example, in experiments when two users of neurointerfaces separated by thousands miles, able to transmit logical information from one to another, and be able to understand without words that he need to move limb here or there or do something, etc. Also, microchips aren't required for those technologies. Usually it's a waste of time to look for them. Cell towers track and send signal to coordinates not to microchips. Also, cell towers may be used as radars to locate objects in surrounding space, cars, people, pets, etc. The only source of microwave electromagnetic radiation present everywhere is cell towers. They are used by gang stalkers. The electromagnetic wave intensity from a point source in free space is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source. Beamforming and MIMO are technologies used in communications, including cellular. Several nearby sources of electromagnetic radiation operate synchronously. As a result, the range and power of the beam increases many times, and the signal is difficult to jam. Why you shouldn't trust common sense and think for yourself. Hardware that gang stalkers use: personal computer, neurointerface, data acquisition system. Software. Software is, for example, OpenVibe, OpenEEG, MATLAB, LabVIEW, etc. All of this is used in neuroscience and neurology. Information from brain is read through electroencephalogram, EEG. Transcranial magnetic stimulation is a method of transmitting information into the brain. TMS. TMS also a therapy to treat voices in neurology. This therapy research was totally a fake. Matter what you do during this therapy to patient, it doesn't affect gang stalker and his software. In the case of gang stalking, targeted individual is scanned remotely by cell towers, cell tower transceivers used in the same way as sensors on the neurointerface, which also serve to transmit information to the brain. Gang stalker sits at the computer in the neural interface. MATLAB is used by almost every software used in neuroscience and allows both to take and process data from scanning the terrain by cell towers, and contains modules for analyzing and controlling the EEM signal. Also, the functionality of software used in neuroscience is changed by software modules that can be installed on it. Since a gang stalker is a slacker, usually HOMOSEXUAL and PEDOPHILE, who in every possible way avoids personal contact, the goal of gang stalker is to kill the victim and take away their property. By definition, gang stalkers cannot be trusted in anything. Also by transmitting your brain waves into another brain, and this detail is hard to find online. Any kind of information will be transmitted into another brain from yours. In short, gang stalkers see what you see, hear what you hear. If you sense smell, they know what kind of it, etc. Main reason those technologies was rarely described in mass media, etc. Not because it's some secret, but because they are always harmful for people they are used against. Pulsed microwaves and electromagnetic square waveforms are so harmful that even discussing of using those technologies on people, and especially without their consent, will lead those scientists to jail. Differences in osmosis of ions, dissolved salt components, cause a small voltage difference across cell walls. When a small voltage appears across a very tiny distance, the change in voltage is called very steep. It is this steep gradient that keeps normal radio signals from throwing us into convulsions. On other hand, those technologies was so harmful that they became perfect tool for crimes, and those technologies used illegally since 1974 on unsuspecting people to generate income from their sufferings for psychiatry, neurology, oncology, etc. Never trust to those voices in anything. They may have any kind of plans on you, including using you as organ donor for transplantation without your consent. False documents and signatures commonly used against targeted individuals. Medic also oftenly pretend that they are helping and just don't understand what are you talking about. And those voices in your head are your imaginary friend is actually you yourself, right? No, it's wrong. It's just impossible that they aren't studied works of Alan H. Frey and unaware that microwaves, electromagnetic waves, etc. may be harmful. So here is a short summary tools used against you are developed and researched by neurology, neuroscience, psychiatry, etc., and mental health specialists from those branches will pretend that those technologies doesn't exist. You are mentally ill and just suffering from hallucinations and delusions. Poisons, viruses. Someone may spray liquid on you on the street, and gases are commonly used against victims of gang stalking, and only medical facilities usually have access to those. In your case, since you describe your situation with terms as psychosis, schizophrenia commonly cured by neuroleptics, also called antipsychotics. It's psychosis, so it's logical to cure it with antipsychotics, right? Well, psychiatry full of lies. Neuroleptics doesn't cure a thing. They destroy your health, cognitive abilities, and shorten lifespan by 20 years. Under effective neuroleptics, you just don't think, as a result, more susceptible to suggestions. Here is an actual description of neuroleptics: die faster, destroy your brain, and pay for it. And since your brain destroyed by microwaves at the same time, and you aren't even aware of it, by same people who want to make you think that you are mentally ill and need to buy antipsychotics. Faraday cage may be used to block some part of electromagnetic radiation used against you. Weakness, tremor, painful muscle contractions, pain in neck, head area. Tinnitus and temperature rise are effects that may be created artificially and remotely in your body by EM waves. Grounded metal lists and/or mesh shielding on walls, cellars, and floors may be used to reduce EM radiation values in your house. Water may absorb some part of EM waves used against you. So, if you want to get rid of those voices, there are two possible solutions. First is to find and negate criminal who is using those technologies against you. Second is to jam frequencies used against you. Each of those solutions have some problems in them. As long as you don't know how to properly describe your situation in court or police department, no one will look for a criminal. Especially if that criminal telling you that he is an alien or Santa Claus and you believe to him. To jam EM frequencies, you need to know what frequencies are used against you. Usually jammers have very limited range of frequencies they are able to jam. To jam EM frequency, you need to use same frequency with same or greater power. The capability of communicating directly with humans by pulsed microwaves is obviously not limited to the field of therapeutic medicine. Frey and Messenger confirmed that a microwave pulse with a slow rise time was ineffectual in producing an auditory response. Only if the rise time is short, resulting in effect in a square wave with respect to the leading edge of the envelope of radiated radio frequency energy, does the auditory response occur. This is why we don't hear ordinary radio and TV signals. Ordinary radio and TV signals use a smooth waveform called a sine wave. This wave signal cannot normally penetrate the voltage gradient across the nerve cell walls. Radar signals consist of very short and powerful pulses of sine wave type signals and can penetrate the steep voltage gradient across these nerve cell walls. Alan H. Frey, Cornell University, 1962.